Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda, and this is Dead Garden Tarot. I've made some changes to my homepage, so check it out. Check out the post page. I have a link there for my Instagram as well if you want to check that out if you have Instagram. I do other card pulls and pick a card readings on there. If you're really into music and art, lots of that. And yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Being called to do a reading. There's been a lot of energy shift going on. So yeah, let's see what we can get. So what do we have for the collective? What kind of information? What kind of energies? What messages? Yeah, expect a powerful change. Exactly. And I'm sure much of you are feeling the same. And then what do you need to release? New moon eclipse. There is a total lunar eclipse in Virgo coming up. And you might have Virgo in your chart. And then what do you need to release? Which is interesting because new moons are a time of manifesting, making those wishes, and then full moons are a time of release. So we're at a powerful point right now where making your intentions known, truly knowing what you want, and then releasing whatever it is that you need to really ground and solidify your wishes. So it feels like a really all-encompassing energy and power. And yeah, with Fire Horse, we're all gearing up, we're ready to go, you know. And spring is almost here, which that's very exciting. Yeah, you want me to do one more? That's weird. Should I do this one? So the bottom of the deck is balance in spirituality and practicality. Yeah, so balancing work, life, play, and also grounding your 3D self, as well as, well, I guess that's kind of what that means. Your 3D self, as well as like your meditation and your spiritual practices. Okay, I'm not going to take that, but Spirit says one more, so let's do one more. So maybe there's another message out there. Yeah, and this, what do you need to release, right? It's like a wintry scene. So what do you need to release right before we hit, I guess, the spring equinox, which I don't even know what day it is. We're supposed to have an early spring this year, which is great. But I don't know if it falls in March or April, like Easter-wise. Okay, what's the third one you wanted to share with the collective? What do they need to know? Okay, yeah, don't let your past hold you back. Believe in the impossible. Yeah, really set your goals high, like your dreams, your aspirations. Really focus on, yeah, now is the time to do that. Whatever people told you couldn't like happen for you, whatever kind of things that maybe people squashed in the past, whatever you think that you've been guided to do or intuitively thinking about. And you know, Steve Harvey always says that when God keeps putting a thought in your head, the universe keeps putting like a thought in your head, and you have these dreams, there's a reason for that. Even if you think it's like, oh, I can't do that, or I'm not there, like I'm not that person, or how can I achieve that? It's like God's giving you that for a reason. He knows that you can. So You got to step outside your comfort zone. You got to release whatever it is, whether it's old thinking, old patterns, old people, old lifestyles, like whatever it is. And get truly honest deep inside about what you really want, what would really make you happy. Even if you think it's not unattainable, it is. Yeah, and the energy is gaining momentum. Yeah, that is true. Yep. Okay, great. Perfect. That was like an extra boost. I liked it. Awesome. See? Spirit knows, right? There's a reason. Okay, so what do we have for the tarot? So expecting this powerful change. I'm using the Good Tarot for those of you who care about the decks. I like to know, so. And then the other one was the Moonology Oracle. What can I get for this, expecting this powerful change? What does the collective need to know about this powerful change coming? I'm a big fan of shuffling these cards. What can I get for this powerful change that's coming? There we go, thank you. The King of Air. Yeah, things are moving. What else? Maybe there's a King of Air. Maybe you're a King of Air. Maybe you have a lot of air in your chart. I feel like somebody is a good communicator, because the King of Air is a good communicator. Very intellectual, articulate. The Tower. So the Tower speaks to me of this one last thing that you are needing to release, and you just might be going through a Tower moment like as we speak. I don't think this Tower moment is supposed to like necessarily come up, and if it is, it's gonna be, I would believe, in the next 2 weeks before this eclipse happens. The Sun. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So this thing that you need to release, this Tower, this is your moment. Don't let your past hold you back. And that's interesting because 16 and 19, that's mirrored. I heard the flip side, looking at things upside down. Yeah, changing your perspective, taking the things that you think that you can't do, that the person that you think that you aren't, that you can't become to be, that you can't grow into, but you can. Okay, what is it that they need to release? What is it they need to release? So this is the powerful change. You moving into the sun, coming out of the cold, coming out of this Tower, coming out of the rubble, coming out of the winter. What is it that they need to release? Okay. This is upside down. Okay, Messenger of Fire is in the reverse. Okay, I'm gonna take it. You may have been, so this can be taken 2 ways, I'm getting. So Messenger of Fire, right? So you may be a fire sign, or you may have been dealing with a fire sign. Whether you're male or female, take it as it resonates. Put yourself where you belong. But because it's so positive, so in the reverse, I feel like 2 ways. Either you were dealing with a fire sign who wasn't good for you, and you've released that, or you're about to release that. So a past person that could have been toxic for you, could have just not been your person. Doesn't have to be relationship wise, but I feel like this feminine fire energy just burned you too many times. And something about communication, something about the way that she spoke. Yeah, like fire burns, but there's something in the way that she spoke. It was almost delusional, I want to say, like disillusioned. You know, like lying with the truth, if you will. And then the other way I'm taking that is, if you're a feminine that maybe is fiery, I feel like you're flipping that around, and you're taking your fire that was like really wild, in the sense of didn't have any direction, and now you are turning that around, and you are honing that fire, you're honing that energy, and you're using it to heal yourself, and you know, to not completely burn everything else around you. You're using it in a creative way. So take it as it resonates. So what else can you tell me about the collective and what they need to release, please? What about this Tower? Yeah, with the King of Air and the Messenger of Fire. So I feel like you were probably an air sign dealing with a fire sign. And that's over. So what is about this Tower? Maybe you're going through a divorce. What can you tell me about the Tower? The High Priestess. I heard you're becoming the High Priestess. Yeah, so you could be a male that is going for his High Priestess after this relationship that's over. And then you could also be, again, a feminine who is honing her fire ability. She's alchemizing and she's becoming the priestess. And what can you tell me about the Sun? The Three of Water. So I'm really being drawn to the pearls for the most in this picture. And then secondly, the way that her scales are shining, right? Much like the sun. And then in the picture with the sun, she's holding these sunflowers and they're glowing. I heard crafting, and I heard, I'm getting a feeling of, you are now aware of what it is inside you that you hold, what it is inside you that is extremely valuable, what it is inside you that is yeah, that is of like a lot of worth. Like, you see now how valuable and how shiny your soul is, and how good your heart is, that you have a golden heart, and that you are becoming the High Priestess. And you're not being afraid of showing that. And see how she's like raising one above her head, she's holding one out, and then she's holding one with like her tail. So like mind, you know, mind, body, soul, or mind, heart, and soul. You're understanding now what it is that sets you apart. and what it is that you have to like offer, like the world and a partner. That's beautiful. And I think people are also starting to see that, whether you think that way or not. I just heard it's naturally oozing out of you. Okay. So don't let your past hold you back. So we are aware of what it is that needs to be released, right? A past partner, a past way of thinking, right? So that's in the end. So don't let the past hold you back. So what is it that the collective is maybe scared of, or what kind of perspective that they were? The Three of Air. Sorry for the glare. Yeah, so you see how she's like kind of has her arms crossed and she's holding onto her heart and her chest, and she's kind of facing away from the bird. I'm getting that you don't have, you're strong now. You've alchemized your pain. You don't have to fear you don't have to fear getting your heart broken. I feel like that's gone. I feel like you moving forward is all going to be positive. I feel like you're really protected. The hurt and the pain is gone. You're not that person anymore. You're different. You're renewed. And because you're the high priestess now, you know how to alchemize that. I don't know if you can hear that. I apologize. You don't, so because she's turning away from the bird, you don't have to turn away from like your bird's song anymore. So you might sing, you might be into music. Yeah, you're gonna find your flock. And you see how she's like by herself. You don't have to be like hyper vigilant. You don't have to do everything on your own. You might have been alone for a really, really long time. Yeah, no more solace. Yeah. And she has a bird that's sitting on her wing. So that means like you really are protected. And I feel like that's a sign that you're gonna start to fly. And this person that you're moving towards, or that you might meet, just because everything is moving in such a positive direction, this person is gonna allow you to be able to use your voice, you know, use your wings, fly, you know, soar high, be free. That's nice. I'm getting like so light in my shoulders right now. Yeah, the tension's gone. That feels good. I didn't even ask a question. Okay, so the next one was what? Believe in the impossible. Okay, so believe in the impossible. The 10 of Earth. Yeah, fully grounded, fully financially stable. And you see how she has like the wolf beside her? You are heavily protected, not only by the universe, but by, I heard your ancestors. That's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, you know, by the people that you will come in contact with, the people that are gonna be your people. And her wings are like really kind of more like fairy, more light. And I feel like, yeah, with that lightness that I just felt on my shoulders, you're gonna have so much more freedom. You're gonna feel so much lighter. And I feel like there's going to be like some sort of expansion when it comes to like your finances. Like you're going to have different avenues. Like the one thing that you're really good at is actually going to like be able to give you this stability, not in just one area, but like in multiple areas, almost like a transferable skill. That's cool. And then the energy, I said that weird. The energy gaining momentum. I think we're in a Mercury retrograde because the technology is not working. I'm saying weird things. It's not coming out right. I'm having a problem communicating. Not that that's not unlike me, but the energy is gaining momentum. Yeah, the 5 of water. You're moving through your emotions better. You're understanding and seeing things clearly. You're processing and putting everything into its boxes. I heard you're breathing underwater. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so breathing underwater, to me, that means that you are a master at what's the word I'm looking for? Your emotional maturity, your emotional stability. Yeah. Do you like the vehicle that she's in, the shell with the pearls? I just feel like you move through it. You know the direction that you're going in. You understand things now. Yeah, you're a master over your mind and how you feel. That's really awesome. Okay. I think this is all really, really good. Should I get, is there any more questions that maybe, can we maybe get like, I don't know, I really feel like this like necessarily has to do with love, but more has to do with finances and that you moving forward and becoming really stepping into your power and who you're meant to be. Yeah, strength. I heard strength and fortitude. Yeah, you're strong now. You're ready. Your abundance is coming in. And again, with the backing, she has like this fierce lion. You're not only being heavily protected by, like, again, with the ancestors and by the universe, but there's someone I feel like coming to you, someone in the background, someone still that's in the dark. I can kind of like feel it, like they're watching you. Whether they're watching you like in the 3D or just spiritually, like you haven't met this person. Or maybe you have, maybe like there has been a shift like this week. Yeah, I just feel like something is coming. Someone is coming. And this person that's coming is also going to strengthen you and stabilize you and super ground you. And they're going to really, not formulate, but really, they're going to like push out like all this that's happening. So all this strength, all this power, all this like maturity, all of this coming into your high priestess and your son, this person coming in is really gonna like expand that out, and it's going to like literally finalize this new you. That's amazing. Okay, what final messages can we get for the collective? Well, can you tell me more about the Tower? I want to know more about the Tower and the High Priestess. And it's interesting because this Tower It's not a crumbling tower. It's a tower that's built on rock. And it's almost like fit for a priestess. Like the, like a temple, you know, where you would go and worship one of them. Yeah, what can you tell me more about this tower and this priestess, please? Awakening and breakthrough. Oh God. And that's like the infinity symbol, basically. Yeah, and she's a picture of, you know, a feminine meditating, high priestess-like. Leo, the sign of Leo. So you might be a Leo. You might have a fire sign. Sun, moon, rising. It's not how you say it. Degas. Deogaz. I'm still learning pronunciations of runes. I wrote them down, but I'm not there yet. Yeah, there's an awakening. I feel like something extra is coming in for you. Some type of energy, some type of gift maybe that is going to really like you have this gift already. Like I can see it. It's like this, might be like that pearl, right? I'm kind of getting like a rainbow opalescent kind of look to it. It's just like a circle with like little colors in it. I feel like that dial on the gift is gonna get turned up. It's gonna get amplified, whatever that might be for you. And I feel like it's part of this emotional maturity and stability that you now have. Now that you've done this, it's gonna get turned up. What can you tell me about this Three of Air, like this past? Can you tell me any more about that? Yeah. Okay. Trust and partnership. You're gonna move into trusting again. So you're probably someone, you know, like myself, like a lot of people that have very little trust in humanity and don't trust people for many good reasons, of past relationships, family, friends, whatever, just life in general. You're not, which is one of the reasons why you've probably been by yourself, on your own. And even if you are around a lot of people, you could be a friendly person. You can have a lot of people around you and enjoy the people around you, but that doesn't mean you trust them, right? Eoaz. Yeah, there's a partnership. That's Gemini. You could have Gemini in your sign. That's 2 Geminis up here. Yeah, you're going to be able to trust again, whoever's coming in for you. Setting intentions. Okay, so setting intentions is upside down. What is this? The waxing crescent. This is upside down. You don't need to set any more intentions. It says here about, you know, the full making that wish and everything, what I was saying. But it's like you've done the work already. There isn't, you are who you are. You've done the work, you've said everything, but I think that one last wish that maybe you need to go into might have something to do with the strength of your gifts, has to do with your gifts. So maybe how you want to use them, how you want to help people. That's nice. That's really good. Wow, this is like super positive. I love it. and hopeful and like, whew. Yeah, you should, you know, when you go to any reading or have any kind of reading or any kind of healing or anything like that, you should always walk away from the reading feeling, you know, if it was like a negative reading and it was a lot of like kind of karmic and heavy energies and stuff, at the end of the reading, you should still have some sort of insight or some sort of like manner or inspiration in which way to go. You should never walk away from a reading or a healing feeling worse than when you went in. Then you know that that person is not, that wasn't like a good energy. I deal with a lot of heavy energies, but at the end of the reading, I would like to at least give you some sort of inspiration, give you some sort of path or something to think about, so that like it does uplift you, it does change you in some way, so that you could know more and change your perspective and alchemize what you need to alchemize, right? Okay, what can I get for, yeah, what can I get for the Sun and this 3 of Water? And then we'll close it off. So what does the collective need to know? So victory and energy wanted to come out, but it was in the reverse. So you're probably feeling a little depleted right now, you know, because it's slow moving and we're coming out of the winter, and it feels like you're trying to find the energy to do the things that you want to do, to get done the errands that you need to get done, and you're just like, how am I going to come out of this kind of slumber, this kind of like stiff moving, you know what I mean? But the wheel turns, right? You just have to remember that like you do have energy and it will come back, and it's just gonna take some time, right? Just much like, you know, daffodils and crocuses and stuff, when they first come up in the spring, like you're not gonna see them, and it takes like a lot of energy to like push through the ground and to like open up. But like once it's out there, then it can finally like rest, and then everything opens up and everything is colorful and bright. So what can you tell me about the Sun and the 3 of Water and the strength, please? So you will have that strength. Okay, can you, thank you. Static force and defense. Yeah, you still might be in a defensive mode. You still might be in that static, right? Like you're not sure. And again, see how like this beautiful plant, this flowers, and then this hand is like reaching for it. Yeah, oh God, I don't want to butcher this. This is Thor's hammer, right? What is it? I don't want to say it. There is a. We'll just go with Thor's hammer. So yeah, so you're in the process of gaining momentum. You're in the process of building and recreating, taking care of what needs to be taken care of. You know, what? That's weird. So hammers and nails usually go together, but for some reason I heard hanging the last hook. Maybe you're redecorating, or you just put some hooks up to hang some stuff like purses and coats. I don't know. That's weird. Or you could take it as a fishing metaphor. Maybe you're, you know, you're hooking your line. Yeah, you're getting ready. You're, you know, the process of fishing. You're hooking your line, you know, tying it, putting your worm on, or whatever, minnow, whatever it is that you use. Could use fake stuff. You know, I can't remember what they're called. The lures. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, that came out of my mouth before it was in my brain. Yeah, the lures, and you can get fun and fancy and colorful lures with little shiny trinkets and stuff. And yeah, you're gonna, you know, before you cast out and this person comes in that's supposed to come in to really expand your horizons and really fortify you in the direction that you're supposed to be going, in the direction that God wants you to be in. That's really going to strengthen and protect you. Yeah, that hammer is about to be slammed down. It's about here. It's about time. So yeah, we've only got, you know, a couple weeks left of February before March hits, and then that eclipse, I want to say, is on March 3rd. So there's probably going to be a massive, powerful shift after that. So I feel like you should look out in the next couple weeks, if it hasn't already happened this week, for something, some door to open, some type of sign that you're going to get. For me personally, that has happened. So I'm excited to move forward as well. And yeah, look out for that. Again, if it hasn't happened, it'll happen soon. And then that huge shift with the total lunar eclipse. But yeah, I hope that this reading resonated with you. If it did, please like it, comment and share. And I hope that everyone has a good day and a exciting week with all of these new exciting signs and blessings coming in. And peace. God bless.